Today we're going to talk about conditionals. We should have already covered kind of what a conditional is, but to review, conditional is what we use when we want to let our program make a choice. Instead of going directly from one command to another, we want there to be some branch where it can go two different ways, or there's two different options, or more than two. So for example, I want to be able to push a button and have that turn on a light. Instead of just waiting and having the light turn on and off automatically, I want some user input to be taken in, and a conditional statement is what's going to let me use that information to affect what happens. So we're going to see some examples of that right now. So I have here in my circuit, I have an LED set up, I have a button set up, and I have a potentiometer set up. I've already made variables for them, and I've already got them in my setup section, and I'm ready to first make sure that they work and then have one control the other. So as a reminder, a really good first step is just to make sure that the things that I have plugged into my board are operating correctly. So in this case, I'm going to just first test by trying to turn on that LED. And it turns on. Great news. I've also put in the serial monitor here so that I can test my button and my potentiometer. So to do that, I'm going to do a serial print line, and I'm going to digital read what's happening on my button and start simulation. Oh, nope, missed the letter T. Happens to me too, folks. Okay, try that again. There we go. Okay, print ln, start simulation, open up the serial monitor. We can see that currently it's zeros. If I click that button, it becomes ones. Great. Okay, my button is working correctly. I'm also going to check my potentiometer, which is an analog read on, I called it a dial because I don't like typing the long word potentiometer. Okay, so right now it's zeros, and we can see it successfully goes all the way up to 1023. Okay, so all of my pieces are working. That's great. Now I'm going to set up kind of the structure of a conditional statement. So in our language here, that starts with an if. And the thing I'm going to test, the condition I'm going to test, is going to go in those parentheses, and whatever I want to happen is going to go in these brackets. So whatever I put in these parentheses has to be something that can be evaluated as true or false. So something is or isn't, happening or true. So I'm going to use a button press here. So we saw just a minute ago that when I digital read on the button pin, I'm going to get a result back that's either a 0 or a 1. So this time I'm going to check and see if it's a 1. I use, remember, 2 equal signs to check to see if something's true. So 1 equal sign is an assignment. 2 equal signs is checking to see if the thing on the left side of the double equals is the same as the thing on the right side of the double equals. So this is going to read that button, and if it is the number 1, I'll do whatever is in here. So maybe I will turn on that LED. Okay, so if I hit start, we'll see at the beginning of my program, my LED is off, but if I click this button, my LED turns on. So that's that if statement in action. We digital read on the button pin, and it was the number 1, so it turns on that LED. All that's working great. However, when I let go of the button, my LED stays on, and that's because I don't have anything in my program right now telling it to turn off. So one way I could do that is with an else statement. So inside here, I would have a digital write LED low. So now this says, hey, go read what's happening on the button. If it's 1, turn the LED on. If it's not 1, so else in any other case, turn that LED off. We're going to try it again. Okay, so it is off right now. Click the button, turns on. Let go of the button, turns off. So now I have a button controlling an LED, which is what we wanted. If statements, as we're starting out, will always have this structure, the word if, something in parentheses that we can check to be true or false, an open bracket, all the commands that we want to happen, and then a close bracket. An else is just the word else, no parentheses, because it's in all other cases. An open bracket, the commands we want to happen, and a close bracket.